Today, we're diving into one of the most misunderstood yet life changing concepts in both finance and personal development: the power of compounding. Whether you're 25 or 75, this principle can absolutely transform the trajectory of your wealth, your habits, your influence, and your life's purpose. Let's jump right in. Most people know compounding as a money thing, but in reality, compounding is a law of life. It's a force built into the fabric of growth. In finance, Albert Einstein is famously quoted as having stated, and hey, don't hold me to this, but this is what most people believe was attributed to Albert Einstein, is that compounding is the eighth wonder of the world. And certainly for good reason. Because when you think about compounding, it really means that your gains begin producing gains of their own. So it's very interesting, is growth that feeds on growth. Momentum that creates more momentum. When looking at compounding, there's a simple formula that's referred to as a rule of 72. So basically, if you have a interest rate, say of 12%, you'll take the 72, divide by 12, and then the result is 6. So that tells you that your money will double in approximately 6 years. Hey, but here's the catch with that whole compounding interest. It only works if you stay in the game. So time is the engine behind compounding. You have to be in it for that period of time. You can't be pulling it in and out. And this really has massive implications, not just for your financial life, but also for your purpose, your habits, and your legacy. So one of the most powerful truths about compounding is that it rewards patience more than intelligence. Someone who invests small amounts early and often beats a person who invests large amounts later. For example, a person that invested $5,000 a year from ages 25 to 35, which is only a 10-year period of time, ends up with more money by age 65 than someone who only invests the same 5,000 from ages 35 to 65. Why, you may ask? Because the first person gave their investment an additional decade to grow. Now let's look at that from the other side. So delaying your savings or retiring too early or stepping away from a meaningful work doesn't just stop your income, but it halts your compounding. In fact, waiting just 5 years to start investing can reduce your long-term outcome by tens of thousands of dollars. So when we talk about redefining retirement and we talk about stepping away from contribution to age 62, it's not just philosophical, it's deeply mathematical. Your income, your creativity, your effort, your habits, all of these things compound the same way that money does. And the additional time you have doing each of these things multiplies your competency in each of these areas. And a real life example of this is really Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett did not become a billionaire at age 30 or not even at age 40. He actually became a billionaire at age 56. Everything after that, almost his entire fortune, came from continuing to work, invest, and learn long past age 56. Matter of fact, working well into his 90s. And at that point, his net worth ballooned to over $150 billion. So from 1 billion to 150 billion, yes, that was approximately almost a 40-year period of time, but majority of his wealth, more than 99% of his wealth, happened in that 40-year period of time throughout continuing to work, continuing to push hard and push forward in industry, but then also the compounding effect of his money created that huge additional growth. So what does that tell us? That really tells us that staying engaged matters, continuing to work matters. Giving your efforts more time to compound is life-changing. Retirement at 65 would have robbed him of about 90% of his eventual financial gain. So Warren Buffett is living proof that the latter decades of life can be the most productive ones if you stay in the game. So compounding is not just financial. Your habits compound, your character compounds, your influence compounds, your skills compound, your legacy compounds. Think about this: reading 10 pages a day, practicing a skill for 15 minutes daily, exercising consistently, mentoring a young person once a month. None of these feels dramatic. It's all small periods of time. However, if you continue these things over months, over years, they compound into something extraordinary. Just like money builds on money, wisdom builds on wisdom, discipline builds on discipline, impact builds on impact. Small, consistent actions become a force multiplier. In leadership research, experts know that small actions taken consistently create upward spirals, momentum that grows your confidence, expands your opportunities, and increases your influence. This slow and steady build is why many of the world's most impactful people didn't peak at 30 years old, didn't peak at 40 years old. They peaked at 60, 70, 80, and beyond. So, what does compounding mean for you in your life right now? So, let's look at this from the perspective of several different truths. The first truth is it's never too late to start. If you're 60, 70, 80, you may think it's too late. You're wrong. Compounding works on wisdom, relationships, creativity, generosity, service, faith, and yes, money as well. Every day you invest in these areas adds momentum to your future. The second truth, the faster you start, the easier it becomes. Every delay reduces your compounding runway. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start today with whatever is in your hand. The third truth, working longer is not a burden, it's a blessing. Continuing to contribute isn't just about income. It's about maximizing the compounding effect of your life's work. The fourth truth, small actions done consistently will outperform big actions done occasionally. Focus on habits, not on heroics. Number 5, compounding rewards purpose. When your efforts are aligned with your calling, every year you stay active multiplies your legacy. So let's really summarize some of the key takeaways. Start early. Time in the market matters most. Use Rule 72. It shows you how quickly your investments can double. Work longer and reinvest. Every extra year can multiply your outcomes. Let your small efforts build upon each other. Your daily choices shape your long-term destiny. And stay patient. Compounding is slow at first, then explosive later on. So this isn't just about making money. It's about building a life that gets better with time. A life that grows in purpose. A life that expands influence. A life that becomes richer, not just financially, but spiritually, mentally, and relationally. That is the real power of compounding. If this broadcast encouraged you, choose one area of your life today and start compounding. Just one. One habit, one investment, one step. And the number 2, so stay engaged. Your greatest growth may still be ahead of you. And remember, you're not retiring from life, you're compounding it. And if this message spoke to you, please like it. Please share it with someone you believe will add value to, and subscribe to the channel for additional content. Thank you. God bless.